Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is 5 o'clock, and we are here live at Own Again. And while you invite your friends and family in, I'll play a little music for our event today. Okay, a little music for our. I don't own the rights to this music, by the way. But there's been so many nights thinking how you did me wrong. That was wrong. And I learned how to get along and throw your back. From my city, I could walk in the garden here with that bad. How many of you remember this song? Drop it in the chat. Who is singing this song? I thought it was appropriate for our topic today. Got a little technical difficulty right there. I'm back. All right. So come on in. Those of you who know we're here every Wednesday. And today we're going to be talking about how to buy a house after a divorce. So come on in, share this. If you're watching this on the replay, please do. But hashtag replay. All righty. So welcome. My name is Gersha Porter. I eliminate confusion for buyers by giving them key strategies to unlock resources to buy their dream home. And on Wednesdays, we have this show here. It's called Own Again, and we focus on tenants who were homeowners and looking back to get out there again and own a home again. So if this is your first time with StreamYard, please do give StreamYard permission to access your name and picture by clicking the link that you see on your screen. And that way I can respond to you by name. If you have a question or if you have a comment, I do look forward to interacting with you. This is streaming to my Facebook page, as well as my Own Again private group. So if you are not already following us there, please do. So once again, good afternoon. We're going to be talking today about how to buy a house after a divorce. And that song that I played a little earlier, I don't know if there are any comments in the chat. I'm not seeing them. But yes, that was Gloria Gaynor. Some of us remember that from back in the day. So welcome again. Today we're going to talk about how to buy a house after a divorce. And we did do some research using rocketmortgage.com. And I also want to let you guys know that I want to give this big disclaimer. I am not an attorney and I am not giving any legal advice today. So if there's some things that are related to your personal situation, please do seek some legal advice. So, what to consider when buying a house after a divorce? We're going to talk about a couple key areas. So, if you've been through a divorce, a fresh start comes with new matters to consider when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your mortgage. So, your partner may buy you out your portion of the current home, meaning you'll be looking for your own home, right? Or you may stay in your current home needing to refinance. Either way, you're looking at a new mortgage. So when we talk about mortgages for any buyer, those are going to be some of the same things you need to consider. So let's discuss re-entering the mortgage market after a divorce. So as some of you know, when divorcing, a lot of change does happen. Okay, you may be separating from your spouse's name. The split could be amicable or it could be complicated. So depending on your divorce settlement, you may be looking for a new home. Fortunately, you're not alone. Divorces, they do happen every day. The mortgage and the real estate industries, they know this. So when you work with me, I have the experience and I understand your needs when it comes to a new home. I have represented many couples who have divorced, and we were able to navigate through the real estate process to come to a happy ending. So when it comes to divorce, you want to consider income, right? So if you were a two-income family, losing your spouse's income means you qualify more than likely for a lower amount, unless you're buying with a co-signer or a new significant other. And we could talk about that on another live. Okay. So there are ways to offset this income issue. For example, if you are receiving child support and or some other kind of alimony, and you can document that these payments will continue for a period of time, really like a lengthy period of time, like a couple of years, then they can be factored into your earnings for the purposes of being qualified for a mortgage. Now, on the other hand, if you're paying spousal or child support, and it's going to end soon, and you can document that, then you have the payments, you can have those payments excluded from your debt to income ratio. Bear with me, guys. My allergies are really bothering me today. So backing that out may qualify you to borrow more. And we have men and women who pay child support and or spousal support. So your debt to income measures what percentage of your monthly income goes to paying off debts like mortgage loans, cars, and credit cards, right? And you know this because we've talked about this before when it comes to qualifying for a mortgage, and it works the same way after a divorce. So under certain loan options, your lender can choose whether to count your child support or your alimony payment, either as a debt payment or as a reduction of income. So it really just depends. And if they're counted as a reduction of the income, that could help keep your debt to income ratio down. So once you've calculated your income, you can then determine whether buying a house is right for you. If it is, to have the best chance of qualifying for a mortgage, just keep your debt payments less than about 40% of your before income tax. And remember, I work with tenants who were former homeowners. They may have lost their home due to a divorce. And I coach them back. I empower them back. I help them get their mindset, their motivation, and their money right so that they could own again. So absolutely reach out to me. Make sure that you click on the link that I'm going to leave in the comment and set up your strategy session. So we talked about income. Now, assets. Getting a divorce can be expensive. Every situation is very different, but it's not uncommon for the cash that you have to dwindle, especially if you have to hire a divorce attorney. So with that in mind, be aware that some of the assets that you had on hand to get a mortgage may start dwindling. So most loan programs require that you have a certain amount of money in reserves. That means in the bank, right? The exact amount of that cash that you need on hand or in reserves depends on the loan program, right? So this is where you have to talk to a mortgage lender. As a realtor, that is not my area of expertise. I am not qualified as a mortgage lender. Those of you who are listening in the state of Maryland, you know that there's tests to be taken and licenses to be had, okay? So as a guideline, you want to consider 2 months worth of your principal, your interest, your taxes, and your insurance in reserve. You need to show you have that. That's not your down payment. That's just in reserve so that that's available if need be. Okay. So in addition to having that down payment, you'll need cash on hand as well as enough funds to set up an escrow account. So money is super duper important when you are looking back to get out there and own again. So consider this information as super helpful if you're thinking about your next steps to own again. Let's talk about credit. Let me just take a look real quick, see if I have any comments. Hey, not sure who that is, but thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you saying hi, Facebook user. So let's talk about credit. Now, if your credit score is better than your ex-spouse's, you could benefit from buying a home solely in your name. You won't have their bad credit dragging you down. If you're establishing credit for the first time on your own, and there are a number of divorcees that are in that position, a good game plan is to get a credit card or two. Use them and pay them off full in every month. Okay? So treating credit card like a debit card, you'll keep more of your credit and you'll be able to build it up so that you can get in a position to purchase on your home. So remember, we've talked about this before. Carrying a balance on a credit card means you'll accrue interest charges and it'll negatively affect your debt to income ratio. So your goal after a divorce could be to build a credit history. So if you're in that position, you don't want to take on any more debt. So once you've established a history of borrowing and paying your bills over time on a few different accounts, your credit score will go up. It'll go up. With a better score, you'll be in a better position of getting a loan approval. Okay? Now, getting off your old mortgage. Let's say you were on the mortgage with your spouse prior to the divorce. That's a question. Not everybody is. So if that was your situation, there are usually two ways that you could do that. Usually. There's a release and then there's a refinance. So some lenders will release an ex-spouse from a mortgage when presented with the correct documentation. So if you submit a divorce decree or some kind of quick claim deed to your lender, they will likely remove your name, leaving the house in the name of your ex-spouse. But you need to talk to the mortgage lender. You need to have these documents in place, okay? The other option is for your ex-spouse to refinance. So you may be the one staying in the property, or if in this situation, you've moved out, and so the ex-spouse is in the property. The process will pay off, if you refinance, the old mortgage and start a new mortgage in the name of only of the spouses in the house. Okay, so refinancing requires paying closing costs. It may not be very valuable for the ex-spouse, depending on their credit, also depending on the real estate market. Okay, because refinancing requires an appraisal, and we need to figure out what is the value of the home, how much is left on the mortgage, can it be refinanced, do you have the credit to do that? There are a lot of considerations. So whether it's a release or a refinance, it should be worked out in the divorce decree. So remember, I'm not an attorney. I'm not able to give you any legal advice. Take a look at the documents you have, and then you may need to connect with an attorney. So consider that as you move forward with looking to get off of that old mortgage. Now, what about if you have to sell your house? So if refinancing isn't the way to go, you may decide that you need to sell your home. That's where I come in. I'll be able to meet with you, figure out what your home is worth today, how much mortgage is left on the home. Once you sell the home, pay off the existing mortgage, depending on what's in the divorce documents, be able to decide what happens with the proceeds, if there are any. And then you're able to move forward and hopefully be in a position to own again. So we know that real estate is one of the biggest investments couples make together. So when couples divorce, this investment needs to be settled. So whether the ex-spouse stays in the home, whether you stay in the home, whether you sell it and split the money, you've got to go through that process. And then it's going to be time for you to figure out, will you live somewhere else temporarily while you work on your credit, your assets, to put yourself in a position to own again. And I'll be available. I'll be around. I can empower you to get that mindset, that motivation, and the money you're going to need to purchase your home again. So if you're thinking about taking that next step, please do book a call with me so we can talk about it and we can figure out where you are in the process and how we can go about helping you own again. So, hey, Joe, thank you so much for joining us today. Good to see you. So, selling a home, selling your current home may be part of that plan when you have to decide how to buy a house after a divorce. Okay. So, there could be some tax implications. You want to consult your tax advisor for that. We talked about equity. Right now here in most of the United States. Home values are way, way, way up. So most sellers have a good bit of equity in their homes. So moving forward to sell a home, if divorce is one of the factors, may put you in a pretty good position compared to 5 or 8 years ago. Okay. So just to wrap it all up, evaluate where your personal finances stand along with your personal feelings. How do you feel about the house you live in right now? Are there memories you would keep or not keep? Figure that out. Are you eager to leave behind that home? Or do you really want to just stay put for a variety of reasons? So, without your spouse, do you have enough income to go ahead and make those monthly payments? Or we're downsizing to a new home really just make more sense for you. So no matter what you decide, it's important to have the right people in your corner, and a great realtor such as myself can work with you to either sell that home that you need to sell as a part of the divorce or help you own again if the divorce is already settled, you've been renting, and you are ready to get back to your greatness of being a homeowner. Remember that the decisions you make today lay the groundwork for tomorrow. And we know that divorce is hard, but you will get through it one step at a time. And if you're interested in being coached, working with me to get yourself back in a position to own again, I would love to talk with you further. So thank you again for joining me this evening. Let me also say this. If you don't already receive my weekly newsletter, please send me a direct message with your name and your email address. I'd love to add you to our email list where we talk about a variety of topics around owning again and other general real estate related news and information, valuable information. And I'd love for you to have it. So please do send me a message with your name and your email address. And if you would like to email me directly, you can send that email to Gersha at GershaPorter.com. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me today for our Own Again Live. If you have found this information valuable, please drop a hashtag valuable. You got some value. If you know of anyone that this might be helpful, you can send them a private message in Messenger with this video. You can share it. You can tag it. And if you'd like to, please ask them to follow us. So at this point, I'm going to just put it here on the screen. If you lost your home to foreclosure, short sale, bankruptcy, or divorce, do you want to be coached back to your greatness of being a homeowner? So join our Facebook group if you want to own again. You can go to GershaPorter.com and click on that icon, and you'll take you right to our Facebook group. If you want to talk more about how I can help you own again, book a call. I'll make sure to drop that in the link in the comments so that you can quickly get to that and set up a time to talk with me some more. I am here every Wednesday at 5 o'clock for Own Again Facebook Live. So please do follow us on Facebook business page, Porter Premier Homes. And if you like and follow, you'll get notified every time we go live, and you won't miss any of this amazing information. So thanks, Joe. I appreciate you finding this information very, very valuable. So for tonight, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'm going to play a little bit more music. See you next time. See you next time. Bye. See you next week.